In the year 2681, humanity had long outgrown the cradle of Earth. The Sol Dominion stretched across more than 100 star systems, its fleets patrolling deep space frontiers where alien empires had once ruled. The age of expansion had come and gone, replaced now by a colder, quieter age, an empire held together by memory, not mercy. The Dominion's capital orbited the red giant Arcturus, a swollen star burning with ancient fury. From here, Grand Admiral Lira Korr watched the galaxy's turn, slow, majestic, and silent until the signal came. It was faint, distorted, buried under static storms and gravitational interference, but the translation was unmistakable, a cry for help. Not human, not even close. The signal carried a resonance that triggered ancient memories in the Dominion's archives, an alien dialect last spoken during the cataclysmic wars, nearly 700 years ago. The Vayari. They had been among the first to meet humanity beyond the stars, and the first to fall before them. Lira listened to the trembling voice in the signal. It was desperate, pleading, "To any who hear us, we are dying. Our sun bleeds. Our world cracks. We ask for mercy." Mercy. The word hung in the air like a ghost. The Dominion Council convened within the obsidian halls of the Arcturus Citadel. Generals, governors, and technocrats gathered beneath a holographic display of the Vayari system, a dim, collapsing star surrounded by 7 dead worlds. Only one planet still flickered with faint signs of life, Vayar Prime. "Do we answer?" asked Counselor Ivanson, his tone brittle. "They were our enemies. Their fleet slaughtered millions during the expansion wars. They were also the first to surrender," Lira replied quietly. "The Vayari signed the Treaty of Orion. They disarmed. They faded into obscurity. We let them live." The debate burned for hours. Strategic value, political gain, moral obligation. But beneath it all pulsed a truth no one dared to speak aloud. Humanity had not been merciful in centuries. They were rulers now, not saviors. In the end, the Council voted. A task fleet would be dispatched, not a rescue convoy, but a reconnaissance armada. Humanity would observe the Vayari distress and determine if intervention served their interests. When the fleet dropped out of slipspace near the dying Vayari star, the void itself seemed to shudder. The sun was collapsing inward, swallowing planets in waves of crimson fire. Magnetic storms tore through space, warping sensors and shredding communications. Admiral Lira Korr stood on the bridge of the battleship Resolute. "Deploy drones," she ordered. "Find survivors." The drones scattered like silver birds, their quantum eyes piercing dust and flame. Minutes later, one returned to transmission, weak but clear. A city half buried in ash, dome shields flickering, thousands of alien figures huddled in darkness. Vayari life signs confirmed, reported her second-in-command. "Radiation levels critical. They won't survive another rotation." Lira's jaw tightened. Prep landing teams. Medical units, too. But before she could give the full order, the Dominion relay pinged. A priority transmission from the Council. "Admiral Korr, you are to refrain from direct contact. Observation only. Do not intervene without authorization." Her bridge fell silent. The officers exchanged uneasy glances. "They're dying," whispered one. "Command doesn't care," said another. Lira stared at the holomap, at the tiny flickering icon representing Vayar Prime. It looked like a heartbeat, a dying one. She cut the transmission channel. "Ignore that order," she said flatly. "We answer distress calls, no matter who sends them." The Resolute descended through the burning skies of Vayar Prime. Ash clouds boiled beneath the hull, and lightning split the heavens. They landed near the dome city. When the airlocks opened, the scent of scorched metal and ozone filled the air. The Vayari emerged, tall, crystalline-skinned beings, their once luminous bodies dimmed to pale gray. Their leader, Elder Sal, approached, voice trembling. "You came," he whispered. "We thought we were forgotten." "Not forgotten," Lira said. "We remember everything." Her teams worked quickly, stabilizing shield generators, deploying atmospheric processors. The Vayari watched in silence or as human machines rebuilt what nature had destroyed. For a moment, it seemed like Mercy had returned to the stars. Then came the fleet. The sky tore open with light as Dominion warships emerged from slipspace, an entire battle group, their hulls gleaming like blades. The Resolute's comms flared alive. "Admiral Korr, stand down. You have disobeyed a direct order. Withdraw immediately." Lyra's heart sank. "Council command," she murmured. They came themselves. A second transmission followed, cold, final. "The Vayari system is to be sterilized. No life may remain. Their instability threatens nearby trade lanes. You are relieved of duty." The Vayari stared up as the sky darkened under the shadow of human warships. Elder Saul turned to her. "You came to save us, but you bring death." Lyra's chest tightened. "I didn't know." Missiles ignited the heavens. Orbital bombardment began. Entire continents burned in seconds. The Vayari screamed, not in rage, but in despair. Their sun collapsed completely, becoming a newborn black hole that swallowed light and hope alike. Lyra stood frozen as her crew pleaded for orders. "Admiral, what do we do?" She looked at the destruction unfolding and whispered, "We remember who we are." Her ship broke formation. The Resolute turned its guns, not on the Vayari, but on the Dominion fleet. Plasma fire erupted across the void. The first salvo crippled the cruiser. The second silenced her own communications array. Within minutes, the Resolute was engulfed by return fire. Her final broadcast echoed through the system before her ship fell into the gravity well of the dying star. "If mercy is treason, then I stand guilty. Humanity was once better than this. We will be again." Centuries later, in the ruins of Dominion space, explorers found a wreck of the Resolute orbiting the black hole once called Vaya Prime. Inside, they recovered a data crystal, Lira Korr's last log. It told the story of a woman who defied an empire, of aliens who cried for help, and of a galaxy that learned too late that mercy is not weakness. In time, that log spread across the surviving colonies, whispered by rebels and dreamers alike as a warning and a promise. When the stars cried for mercy, humanity answered, not with kindness, but with power. But power, left unchecked, devours its own light. And somewhere, beyond the event horizon, a faint voice still echoes, a vow that one day mercy will return to the stars.